You've probably heard the name, polycystic ovary syndrome. It sounds like a problem, exclusively, with your ovaries. Like something's wrong, right there. And that's the trap. Because the name is almost misleading. It makes you think the whole story starts in your pelvis, but it doesn't. The real story starts somewhere else. Somewhere quieter. In a place you might not even think about when you're trying to understand why your body feels so out of tune. PCOS isn't a disease. It's a syndrome. A collection of symptoms that happen together, and they affect your whole endocrine system, your metabolism, your hormones, not just your ovaries. So when we hear PCOS, we think of cysts, but the real action is happening inside a much bigger conversation your body is having with itself. And if you've ever felt like that conversation is just static, like you're speaking a language no one else hears, you're not imagining it. Let's unpack what PCOS actually is. Not what you've been told it is. The first thing you need to know is that you're not broken. And the name, polycystic ovary syndrome, has done a lot of damage. Because it makes it sound like this is just about your ovaries. Like if you could just fix those little cysts, everything would be fine. But PCOS is a syndrome, not a disease. And a syndrome is a collection of clues, a constellation of symptoms that hang together, but don't have one single cause. So your ovaries might be the ones showing up on the ultrasound, but the real story starts somewhere else. Somewhere quieter. Somewhere that's been working behind the scenes for years. Maybe you've been told your period is just a little irregular, or that your acne is normal for your age, or the classic, that if you just lost some weight, everything would sort itself out. And maybe you tried. Maybe you tried everything, but nothing seemed to shift. And that loneliness, that feeling of being dismissed by doctors, by family, by your own body, it's real. On average, it takes 2 to 3 years and multiple different doctors to get a PCOS diagnosis. For women of color, that wait is even longer, and that's not okay. So let's say it clearly, your symptoms are real. You are not imagining this. So where does it start? Think of your body as an orchestra. Each hormone is an instrument, playing its part in a quiet, perfectly timed symphony. But in PCOS, one instrument starts playing too loud. That instrument is insulin. Insulin's job is to help your cells take in sugar for energy. But sometimes, for reasons we're still understanding, your cells stop listening. They become resistant. So your pancreas has to shout. It pumps out more and more insulin, trying to be heard. That extra insulin doesn't just handle sugar. It also tells your ovaries to produce more testosterone. And that's where the classic symptoms start. The acne, the hair in places you don't want it, the thinning hair on your head, the skipped periods. Up to 70% of women with PCOS have insulin resistance, even those at a healthy weight. So if you've ever been told you're too thin to have it, that's a myth. Insulin resistance doesn't care about your gene size. Now, when it comes to diagnosis, doctors use something called the Rotterdam criteria. You need 2 out of 3, irregular periods, signs of high androgens either in your blood or on your skin, and polycystic ovaries on an ultrasound. But here's the part that surprises most people. You can have PCOS without having any cysts at all. Really. The cysts in PCOS aren't the painful kind that rupture. They're just small follicles, eggs that never got released. So if your ultrasound came back normal, that doesn't mean you don't have PCOS. It just means your ovaries aren't showing the classic sign. And that can be such a relief to hear, because so many people spend years confused, thinking they don't fit the picture. And the symptoms themselves? They look different on every person. For some, it's the acne that never seems to clear. For others, it's the hair falling out in the shower, or the sudden weight gain that feels impossible to stop. Some struggle with mood swings, anxiety, depression. Others face infertility or the constant worry that they might. But no one has all of it, and no 2 journeys are the same. That's part of why it's so hard to diagnose, and so easy to feel alone. One thing we need to clear up, this is not your fault. You didn't cause this by eating too much sugar or not exercising enough. PCOS runs in families. If your mother or sister has it, your chances are higher. And researchers have identified specific genes linked to hormone regulation and metabolism that play a role. So it's not a moral failing. It's biology. And understanding that can lift a weight you didn't even know you were carrying. Now, because PCOS affects your whole system, it does come with some long-term health concerns. Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, endometrial cancer. The risks are higher. But let's pause right there. This isn't to scare you. It's to empower you. Because knowing your risks means you can take steps to manage them. Regular checkups, monitoring your blood sugar, staying active in ways that feel good. These things make a real difference. You're not helpless. You're just informed. And that brings us to the most important part. Living with PCOS isn't about finding a cure. There isn't one, not yet. But it is about managing your body day by day, with kindness, not shame. Some days you'll get it right. Some days you won't. And that's okay. Research is moving fast. More and more doctors are starting to listen. And communities, like this one, are growing, where you don't have to explain yourself. People already know. So take a breath. You're not alone. And now, at least, you know what you're really dealing with. Not just a name, but the actual story. And that story, it's yours now. Not the one the textbook simplified. Not the one that made you feel broken. Yours. Because PCOS isn't just about ovaries. It's about a whole body finding its own rhythm. A rhythm that might feel off-key some days. But that doesn't mean the music stops. You've spent years wondering if what you felt was real. Now you know, it was. And that knowing, it's a kind of power. The kind that lets you stop apologizing for your body. The kind that lets you say, this is me, this is real, and I'm still here. So tomorrow, when someone tells you it's just a label, you'll have the words to explain. And more importantly, you'll have the right to let it go. To focus on what matters. Your energy, your choices, your life on your terms. PCOS might be part of your story, but it is not the whole chapter. And you get to write the rest. So write it, slowly, gently, your way. We'll be here, same place, same time, next week. Until then, be kind to that body. It's been trying to tell you the truth all along.